Welcome, everyone. I see the numbers pouring in. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Glad to have you all here. Those who want to learn how to become a hacker. I'm glad to see people showing up. It is a wonderful time. The weather's getting better. All that good stuff. You know, this is our information session for Ethical Hacking 101. I'm Carl Gray. I guess I'm now the lead hacker for Learn from a Hacker because we have so many great ones that are being formed, and you'll probably hear from a few of them tonight. I hope they have their cameras on when it's time for them to talk, because people like to see our wonderful faces. But I'm glad to see each and every one of you here. Indeed. So we're gonna jump right in, just letting the few more folks come in. I know folks are go ahead and clicking the links. They're getting the invites from their emails and Eventbrites and YouTubes, and we're everywhere. We're being worldwide. As you all know, this is going to be our second course that we're doing from Learn from a Hacker, and so I'm really glad to see each and every one of you here. And we're going to have a good time tonight. You go ahead and grab your pen, your paper if you need it. You may want to take some notes on some things, even though I will allow this to be available for replay. But yeah, go ahead and get ready. We're going to jump right in because you're going to have some really, really good information that I'm going to share with you tonight about cybersecurity. So if you've ever been interested in it, and as you can see, every day there's something new when it comes to our field, and unfortunately, fortunately for you, unfortunately for the world, that the career path is wide open. There are more and more people, actually more and more openings. There are more openings than there are positions. So this is to help people get started in the field, learning what it is exactly that I do, that we do, and how to get positioned in a way where you can turn your curiosity, your skill set, all of those type of things that, and even some people were like some in our first class, they didn't know anything. They could barely turn on the computer. And one just ended up hacking. They got permission to hack a friend's website and show them how they could do things better. So we're already getting results, and the first class isn't even over. So just go ahead and we want to jump on in. And so I'm going to start in about 10 seconds. Just want to make sure that everybody who wants to get in is able to get in before I start, so that I don't have to go back. I mean, even though I will answer questions, comments, or whatever as time goes on. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start my slideshow now from the beginning. Can you all see my screen? I hope you can. If you can, go ahead and say, I can see it. If you can't see it, let me know that you cannot see it. But indeed, yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Okay, you can see it. All right, great. So, oh yeah, y'all can see my face at the same time. Oh, see, I didn't know all that. But nah, it's just fine. Just fine. So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna switch over now and get started. So yes, this is Ethical Hacking 101 information session, and I am Carl Gray with Learn from a Hacker. And so today we are going to talk about starting a career in cybersecurity, even if you don't have a computer science degree or cybersecurity experience. And I'll tell you my story, because that was actually me. Did not have a computer science degree, nor did I have any cybersecurity experience. All right. So the truth of the matter is, cybersecurity is one of the fastest growing industries, not just in the United States, but in the world. As we talked about earlier, things are happening every day where there's some type of hack going on. It's a new threat emerging. There's somebody who needs something fixed. Just think about how many times you've seen somebody say, oh, my Facebook got hacked, or my Instagram got hacked, or my email got hacked, or I lost my banking information, all of that. So as long as those things are happening, there is opportunity. All right. So with the boom of technology comes the boom of cybersecurity. The more apps that come out, Clubhouse is the newest one, and best believe people are looking for ways to hack Clubhouse. People are banking more online, they're shopping more online, they're living more online, they're educating online. So you can see that there will always be more and more need for us, and I'll say us to include you. All right. So, and according to Tech Republic, data breaches are increasing more than 50% annually, making the role of cybersecurity specialists extremely important. Now, think about that. Now, I'm not just saying that now you see what's happened last year. So chances are in 2 years there'll be double that. So it's increasing more and more as everything happens. Whether it's again online banking, online shopping, political threats, state actors, hacktivists, all of those things that happen that you really want to be aware of and take care of. All right. Next, I want to let you know that you are in the right place today. Today's class is perfect for students with an interest in computers and cybersecurity. Even those who just may be curious about any and everything. That actually is one of the best things. You may not be the most techie, but you just have that mind that tries to figure out how things work, how to do things a little better, and I'll explain to you more how that fits in. You're in the right place because today's training is perfect for professionals who want to make a change in their career. Like I would hate to have been the CD, the Discman repairman when iPods came out, because all of a sudden it's like, okay, I don't even, the jobs go away as technology increases. We can sit there and think that, someone raising a wage or this, that, and the other is going to benefit us. But the best thing to do is prepare yourself and be ahead of the game. You are in the right place because today's training is perfect for those who excel in problem solving and critical thinking and want to turn that into a lucrative career. So you are worth this. And because you're worth this, I'm going to ask you to do a few things right now. First, close your email. I know, I get it. Close those 20 browser windows and tabs you have open. And I'm one who does that often, so I had to close them myself. Do that. Give yourself the time and attention for this. Close the door. Shut the door. Don't let anybody come in and disturb you. Got to put a do not disturb sign. I'm talking to give you a chance to do all these things. Go ahead and get up and put that sign on the door so that you can have the time to focus, because this is your time right now. All right. Put the media, social media, and phone on silent. Not just vibrate, on silent, so you didn't even know what's popping up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that myself. I'm gonna put my Android on silent, because I don't want anything or anyone to disturb our time right now. All right, cool. So there it is, done. And last but not least, for you parents out there, ask the kids not to kill each other for the next hour. That's all. You just don't want them to kill each other. That's all we asking. You fall, scrape bump your knee, hey, it's whatever. Just don't die. No, I'm just kidding. But no, just tell the kids to give you some time to yourself. Tell them to go take a nap, go play Roblox, go do that little dance thing that they do. Whatever, to give you your time. All right? So the big question is, why should you listen to me? Like, who are you? Y'all with locks and a hoodie. Why should I listen to you? Well, let's talk about my journey. So this is my story. In 2006, wearing this exact same hoodie. All right? Even though I didn't have this hoodie in 2006. But this was me. I had a bachelor's in computer science from the Hampton University. Not computer science at all, as you know. Some computer experience. I had done some things at my church under my pastor's leadership, and I was allowed to do some stuff, but nothing in compared to what I ended up learning. Yes, I could, do some stuff. I just had an inquisitive mind to do different things, and I started to figure it out. Zero cybersecurity experience. Did not even really know what cybersecurity was. I'll tell you that it was beyond anything that I knew. No certifications at all. And so I was really coming in as a blank slate, as many people are, many of you may be. Now let's talk about today in 2021. My hair is longer. I am certified in the areas of cybersecurity, IT assurance, and IT auditing. I have a certified information systems auditor. There's the proof right there. I'm a certified ethical hacker. There's the proof right there. And I'm a certified penetration tester. And there's the proof right there. I have over a decade of experience in cybersecurity itself. As an ethical hacker, 25,000 hours of paid consulting work, hundreds of hours of study, research, and development. And I am the founder and owner of Learn from a Hacker, the ones who are putting on this event tonight. So there's a song that says, ask me what I do and who I do it for. So I'm going to tell you what I do. I do ethical hacking and penetration testing, security awareness training, where I go into organizations and I teach them how not to get hacked online, how to protect themselves, how not to be have their identity stolen, things of that nature. IT auditing, where I go into businesses, organizations, and I assess the controls over their financial systems, to see if their financial systems can be hacked or if people can commit fraudulent things and if their policies or procedures are proper and all of those things. I do business development, which is how I was able to even start different businesses that I do, even starting this myself. And even part of my training is showing you how to turn this into actually a business if that's what you want to do. Process improvement, because most of the time when you're doing security audits and things, you also are figuring out ways to help with different processes to help processes go better for organizations. Disaster recovery and business continuity, again, because there's such a huge security component to disaster recovery, to business continuity, making sure that in the event that something happens, like we just had massive shutdowns, but there needed to be continuous operations and business continuity, because when people are working from home, they have to make sure they have the proper VPN settings and making sure that they're using tokens or whatever it may be to protect their data, because you still have the same responsibility to protect data even when you are not working on site. And the second part of that is who I do it for. And these are just some of the clients that I've worked with over the past decade and a half. Network Solutions, which was the third largest ISP in the world, internet service provider in the world. They provided the .coms to other .coms. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, a Black Greek letter organization. The National Council of Negro Women. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency for the United States Treasury. Marriott, my favorite hotel brand. Pepco. Exelon, which bought Pepco, and I did the post-merger implementation of their audit systems. The Lynx Corporation, Miami-Dade Transit Authority, what else? Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority, MWA, which does Dulles Airport as well as Reagan National Airport. The City of Los Angeles, who else? Maryland Transportation Authority, and the other HG, Howard University. And this story can be yours too. There again, as I said before, I'm not anybody special, well, my mama say I'm special, but no, I'm not anybody that's special. I'm just like anyone else. I just took advantage and learned some things and did some trainings that put me in a position where I am able to do certain things. Able to do this and enjoy it and help others to do it as well and hopefully enjoy it. And so one of the questions that people may ask is, does ethical hacking pay? And when I say does it pay, we're talking about money. We're not talking about like crime doesn't pay. We're talking about like, does ethical hacking in itself, is it worth getting into? Is it worth investing in yourself to get into this field? And well, I'll let the facts speak for themselves. The founder of No Wire Security, Eric Geyer, estimates a more conservative $50,000 to $100,000 in the first years of work, depending on your employer, experience, and education. This could be coming right out of college. This could be even, coming out of high school. Some people don't even have degrees that are in my field. Actually, one of the people that I first worked with, he did not even have a degree when he when he was doing hacking and things of that nature. Um, Next, the average salary of a certified ethical hacker, which is one of the certifications that I have, is $95,000, according to EC Council Senior Director Stephen Graham. And Stephen, the EC Council is who gives out the CEH certification. Next, as of October 19th, the average annual pay for an ethical hacker in the United States is $115,571 a year, which is a decent living. You can I feel like that's a nice amount of change for anyone. So what we want to get you to do right now is really take control of the future. And when I say take control of the future, I'm not just talking about as we say right here, with skills in cybersecurity, you can be sure that not only will you always have a job, but you'll be able to protect yourself and your family from emerging threats. Now, that's what taking control of the future is. It's not just about, being able to do for yourself, but it's being able to be protected. Where I can tell you right now, I don't get hacked. I've not had my identity stolen. And it's because since I know what hackers do, I know what not to do. I know how to say, okay, well, I'm not going to, go down this road or look at this or, click on this because this looks like something that could potentially be dangerous. And so so those are the things that you're able to even know about in these instances, so that you could actually you would actually be able to protect yourself and your family. And even when you see something on television, like I was watching the 60-minute special on how on how the Russians were able to hack SolarWinds. And I knew a lot of the stuff that they were talking about, listening to different podcasts. You're just trying to have a heads up and a leg up on everyone, the competition, but also just people. And so, yeah, I'm looking and seeing all these different comments and stuff. So just going to give a shout out. Thank you all for commenting on what we're talking about here today. But yeah, so just continuing on, yes, take control of the future, which is what you definitely want to do, and what we're gonna teach you today. So let's talk about what you've probably heard about what I do, about hackers or ethical hackers. I'm only talking about ethical hackers. I don't talk about anything I talk about. It's about doing this ethically, doing it legally in a way where you cannot be arrested. And I'll even teach you about how not to be arrested in doing these things. All right. So you probably heard this. You have to be great at computers in order to start in cybersecurity. Or that jobs in cybersecurity are for isolated people. That you're stuck in a basement or a room. You don't really deal with individuals, or just kind of like sitting there drinking Mountain Dew with a green screen. You've probably heard that you have to have a degree in computer science, and I'll already tell you that ain't true. And it takes years to learn how to hack. And one of the craziest ones is you're too young or too old to get into cybersecurity. Now, by show of hands or comments, how many of you all have ever heard anything like that? Just out of curiosity, if you ever heard that or thought that even yourself, go ahead and throw that in the comments if you've thought something like that or seen something like that. But we're here to get rid of all of those falsities. But because the truth of the matter is, you can be an ethical hacker, and the truth is in less than 2 months. So let's talk about the truths that get rid of those falsities, as I like to call them. Myth number 1: you have to be great at computers to have a start in cybersecurity. Actually, whatever you're doing now, you can likely translate into cybersecurity. And I'm talking about psychologists. I'm talking about athletes. I'm talking about trash men. Like every one of those fields has something that can be used in what we do. There's something we do in information gathering called dumpster diving. Now, if you happen to be rock, and you're a trash man, I mean, that's actually a pretty good career, but you decide you want to get into cybersecurity, we can use you. Because you know exactly what people could be thrown out, or all types of stuff, when to beware, when people are going to put stuff out, like all of those things. So giving you all of that. Myth number 2: jobs in cybersecurity are isolated from people. Actually, A lot of what we do involves interacting with people, whether it be social engineering, audit, security assessments, webinars like this. As you can see, I think you may be able to tell by my personality that I'm not really an isolated person, that I like to be around people. I like to talk, I'm actually pretty docile right now. So myth number 3, that you have to have a degree in computer science. Actually, you don't have to have any degree, even though it is recommended because, depending on where you work, they may require a degree for certain contracts. But there are many certifications that don't require a degree. Actually, some of the best hackers that I've worked with recently are still in high school. Like my interns are still in high school, and they know how to do this stuff, and they're actually even teaching it to the students. Myth number 4, it takes years to learn how to hack. The truth is, I can turn you into a job-ready hacker before the summer starts. And let's just be real. And summer starts in June, the end of June. So, give me a little bit of time. All right. But we can make it happen. It just takes dedication. You taking what you've been taught, going back and look over it, studying it, trying things on your own. I very much encourage trial and error. And you'll even see some of the things that I set up so that you can practice the skills that you learn, so that you're not out there doing things or taking chances on somebody on Google's website or Amazon. But I actually have things that are set up for you when you become one of my students to make it so that you can take advantage of everything that you learn. Myth number 5, you're too young or too old to get into cybersecurity. And my answer to that is, please, let's be real. It doesn't take years to learn how to hack. And as a matter of fact, like I said, by the end of this webinar, you'll already be ready to get started. Now, I'm going to give you just some free information on how to even get started. All right. So let's first talk about what is a hacker. It's essentially a person who spends a great deal of time tinkering with hardware and or software to develop more efficient programs or to bypass unnecessary steps to get a job more quickly. I often use the analogy of my water bottle. This is meant to be drank out of. You open the top and you take a sip and you drink. Now, if I wanted to hack my bottle, what I would do is, to make it easier for myself, I would punch a hole in the side, put a straw in it, and drink out of the straw. I've essentially hacked the bottle. That's all a hacker is. They take something, where it was intended to be some way, and they make it easier for themselves. And the thing is not hacking is what's called amoral, meaning in and of itself it's not good or bad. It depends on how you use it. You can be ethical, white hat like myself, or you can be criminal, which I do not encourage anyone to be, which is a black hat. Next, the only real difference is permission. What I do, the clients that I work for, they give me permission to do what I do. But as far as skill set, I have to know the same things that the guys wearing the mask have to do. That's why if you see on my logo, at the top of the screen, that's pretty much me. I got the mask and the dreads, but which means I have to do the same things that everyone else does. It's just I do it legally and I teach it legally. So the job of an ethical hacker, and that's what we'll be talking about today. I'm not going to go into black hats. It's ultimately we're the ultimate security professional. There is nothing above the ethical hacker, just to be honest with you. We know how to find and exploit vulnerabilities and weaknesses in various systems, just like a malicious hacker is. In fact, we use the same skills. However, we use them in a legitimate, lawful manner to find vulnerabilities and fix them before the bad guys can get there and try to break in. And that's what I show you. I show you how to find those vulnerabilities. I show you where to look, how to discover them, what tools. And I'm even going to do a quick demonstration today and just kind of show you what it looks like when we do what we do. And we're basically a programmer who legally attempts to break into a computer system or network in order to find its vulnerabilities. And we expose those vulnerabilities so that the target entity can fix them before they are illegally or accidentally exposed. Also, we help inform and protect clients from cyber threats by providing recommendations for security improvement. So what kind of jobs are there for an ethical hacker. It's not just sitting there at a computer. There are many different things that you can do with what we do. Of course, you can be a network administration or manager. That you may be the type that you may not want to go to a bunch of different clients. But you want to sit there and secure someone's system. That's great. You can do that with what we do because you know ports, you know protocols, you know firewall rules, you know IDSs and IPSs, all these random things that most people don't even know exist. You don't know about them. Security investigator, get into cyber forensics. I've had the opportunity to do some cyber forensics in the past. Penetration tester, which is what I do primarily. A web security administrator or manager, data security analyst or specialist. Again, like I said, a computer digital forensics investigator, a IT security administrator, consultant, or manager, which I was for a number of years. Network defense technicians, if you want to do you be on a red team or blue team for the, DOD has a lot of things out there that work on those type of things. A social engineer, and this is one with social engineering where you really don't have to don't do much technical. It's really just about learning people and hacking people. Yes, that is something that we do. So what does it take to become an ethical hacker? I would say this: a sharp mind. You got to be quick. The ability to think on your feet. An ethical compass, meaning you cannot be easily compromised. We don't want people who are gonna steal stuff. We don't want people who, when they see some information, they're gonna automatically try to use it against somebody. You have to be ethical because that's how you keep getting clients. When they can trust you. You have to be very trustworthy. You have to always be willing to learn and expand your knowledge because the way that our field works, things change every day. I was sitting in a dorm room, and you'll learn about a dorm room later in this presentation. And one of the students said, "Hey, Carl, VMware has this new vulnerability that came out. Does this affect us because we use VMware for our labs?" And I was grateful that he sent it to me because I was asleep when it came out. Because I do have to sleep. I can't, I don't have something plugged into my brain to send me stuff. But he sent it to me, and I was able to let him know, looking and reading it, it wasn't something that affected us. But it's good to be aware of it because if we did need to switch platforms or do some type of upgrade, we would want to know that type of stuff. Also, networking skills, because, and I'm not talking about, just computer networks because that's good, but also networking, meaning being able to talk to people, and then the last thing is education. It's going to take continuous learning. I have to learn I take classes all the time. When I'm not teaching, when I'm not working, I'm learning. I spend hours and hours of learning because I want to stay ahead of the game. This is one of those situations where, there's always something new. If you get bored easily, then this is the field for you because you'll never be bored. There's always something new. So, ready to start learning? Let's go. So, are you ready to start the journey to the recession-proof career in ethical hacking? Yes, I said it's recession-proof because computers are here to stay, and you want to be the one that can defend against Skynet. That's all I'm saying. For you young folks who don't know what Skynet is, it's from the Terminator. So this is what I recommend that you will need. You don't need to get it right now, but this is what you will want in the future. Once you start taking our class, you need a personal computer that you can use, be a laptop or a desktop. Most will recommend laptops so you can travel with it. I happen to have both, just for personal preference. Windows 7 or better, or Mac OS 10.15 or better. 8 megs of RAM on your computer, and at least 100 free gigabytes of memory. The more the better, but at least 100 free gigabytes. And what I tell people all the time, you do not have to go out and buy a brand new computer. Most of the computers that I use for hacking, I've either gotten off of the Best Buy open box rack, somebody's clearance rack, and my favorite ones I've actually gotten from the pawn shop. I do not recommend going to get a Chromebook because those are not made for what we do. But you can get, just like I said, walk into a pawn shop, throw a little bit of money down and say, hey, this is what I want. And, we'll help you to build it. Our interns are there to help you build the labs on your machine, because what you're going to be doing is setting up an entire lab on your computer. Or You can actually build an entire lab on AWS, Amazon Web Services, for free, where you can have the three different machines in one that you can use to practice your hacking. But that is what you will need for our class. Hacking methodology. I'm gonna just dive right in. I'm gonna tell you what to do. Like I said, I'm here to teach. I'm here to help. I'm here to, to let people know exactly what it is that I do, that we do. Planning. As with anything, we go in with the plan. They say the first casualty of war is the plan, but you still got to do it, because that way you know what to do. Just in case things go wrong, you at least know where you're trying to go. Intelligence gathering, and I'm going to explain these a little more later on. Footprinting, enumeration, vulnerability identification, vulnerability exploitation, and all throughout we are doing detection evasion, so throughout the entire process. Now, before I move on, I want to tell y'all a story real quick, and about my very, very, very first hack. In my first hack, this is right after I, took a class just like this one. I was in, well, I can't say the name of the company because that's not, I sign non-disclosures and all that type of stuff, so I don't put companies' businesses out there. But it was, I didn't know if the stuff I learned in class would actually work, and because like at some points of the class, I was like, kind of like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? But anywho, what I ended up doing was, what I ended up doing was I went to the good old, we did some social engineering, which I talked about earlier, and we plugged in to there. We were able to get the username and password for one of the secretaries that was there. And because we did what's called phishing, I created a fictitious website, and I went and I got a username and a password. And so from there, I was like, oh, well, I got it. So I looked in the emails. Okay, see a little something. Well, going to get lunch afterwards. Hey, when do we have you out? I got stuff. Nothing real interesting. Then we ran a scan using her credentials, which you'll learn how to do scanning and all of those type of things. And then what we did was we plugged into a guest port at this place, and we were able to traverse through their network to the point where I was able to uncover over 10,000 FBI background check files. Now, mind you, this wasn't the FBI that I was doing this for. It was an organization that does background checks, and they use the FBI. And so when they do that, they're supposed to protect that data because it has, names, social security numbers, family names, a lot of information, also, monthly incomes and all of that. And this wasn't just like quote unquote normal people. These were dignitaries, some ambassadors, some politicians, those type of things. I was like, whoa, wait, these names I've seen on the news, and there were 10,000 of those. So imagine how, I didn't print it out, but just imagine how big that file actually was. And of course, I turned it over to the to the proper authorities so that they could say, hey, you need to make sure this data is encrypted. You need to make sure, and with a good encryption, because one of the things we talk about in our class is how to get past encryption. We actually did a lab not too long ago where, and actually Richard, who I think I'll have him come on sooner than later, was able to talk about and show them how to decrypt some information so that they could get further along in the challenge. I don't want to give anything away, so that's why I'm kind of stuttering right now. But that just goes to show how you can do these things immediately. And the main reason is because, like, there's a saying that says, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And so most people are very blind to what we do. They're very blind to cybersecurity. They're very blind to those things. And so just knowing a little bit puts you so much further ahead of everyone else. It puts you, way ahead of the game. So just wanted to go ahead and, talk about that real quick. So let me go back to my presentation. All right, there we go. Let me tell you about my first hack. But yes, so that's where we were. So moving forward, so I have a question for you. Um, could you see yourself in that situation? Could you see yourself in the situation where you have become the expert? You're the one that they're looking to. You're the one that um, that they want, that they call the expert in your field. Like, can you see yourself? I want you to see yourself as that. I mean, yes, it may take time, it may take work, but you can be there. They say, well, it may take 5 years. Well, in 5 years, you're gonna be 5 years older one way or the other. You might as well be ahead of the game and start now. You don't want to wait and then be like, dang, I wish I would have. Helping major corporations protect themselves against the bad guys. That could be you. You could be their superhero. You could be sitting at the table with CEOs, CFOs, giving them expert advice. Like I've said that one of my mentors, a guy by the name of CJ, who actually got me into this field. He brought me into a boardroom with a CEO, a CFO, and a CIO, and it was supposed to be a 5-minute conversation, but I ended up holding court with them for an entire hour, sharing with them things about their organization. So that really could be you, and I'm here to help you become that person. I want everyone who learns from me to become better than me. Like really, it's put me out of business. Not really, but still. Now you showed up for a reason. Maybe more than one reason. Even though you're super busy, I know like things are crazy right now. So there's other things you could be doing, but that right now there's something that you want, that you think, and you're going to get from this class. You showed up today because you probably see the job landscape is changing and you don't want to get stuck in a dead end profession. That's just real. But there's great news. You have two choices, and I'm going to present both of them to you right now. Option A, you can do it yourself with what you've learned today. You can research it. I'll even show you how to do option A. It may include, some trial and error. You might get stuck somewhere, do the wrong thing, get stuck in somewhere, might get arrested because you tried to hack the wrong kind of site. And honestly, doing it like this, you'll probably end up wishing you had done better by the time this time next year rolls around. Or you can do option B. I can fast track you to the results of becoming career ready in the area of ethical hacking. Now, with option A, we're going to tell you exactly what to do and how it works. You can search YouTube. There are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of videos on how to hack stuff on YouTube. They're out there. You can create your own test labs, since you have to have one to practice without getting arrested. So you can build that from scratch. You can go out and buy the stuff and, get the software and learn the tutorials and, spend hours. There's books. I got a book somewhere with it. Yep. I got big old books upon books upon books on how to build stuff. I mean, I got for dummies books. You can go. I promise you, I've taken, almost $50,000 worth of classes, if not more, to learn the things that I'm teaching you. And of course, you can pay. You can study the methodologies. You can go look up PCI, OSTTM, OSNIT, what else? OWASP, all of those things. You can go and look all of that stuff up and try to figure it out. And again, like I said, a whole lot of trial and error. We're going to figure it out. There's trial and error and everything, but be like, dang. But then the biggest thing is, before that, you got to know where to start. Where do you even start in doing that? So now, before we get to question and answers, because I will answer your question, let me quickly show you what is possible. I'm inviting you to our Learn from a Hacker intensive training. And actually, it's not starting on Tuesday, February 16th. It's actually going to be starting on a different day, April 7th, 2021. And I'm going to change that right now because I don't want to, I would have hacked myself and I don't like that. So I'm going to change it right now in the middle of this because I feel like that's the best thing to do for everybody. Don't y'all? We don't just sit there and, let stuff be bad. All right. So now I am going to from the current slide, and guess what? Even when people watch the replay, they will see this and know that I am not perfect. Oops, I wish I was, but I am not. So where are we? Where are we now? Going to share my screen back. There we go. There's the right date. Wednesday, April the 7th, 2021 is the day where we're going to be starting our classes, our new classes. I'll actually, let some of, actually one of our current students is here in the background. He may still be here. And I'm going to ask him to, tell you all about what he's learned thus far in the class in a second. But, so it will be a 7-week intensive training where you will learn the stuff that I know, the stuff that I've taught. And this is our second time doing it, and so it's going to be even better than the first. So you can become career-ready ethical hacker in 7 weeks. I like to say you can go from 0 to hero in 7 weeks. That's what we want you to do and want you to be able to do, because that's what it's about. It's about being that hero, that person that people can depend on, that you can depend on, that your family can depend on, that you can not only protect yourself but also protect others. Next, by the end of this course, you will know the fundamentals of ethical hacking and cybersecurity, meaning you will know the steps that it takes to do one. You'll know the basics of it. You'll be able to go and work with someone. You may not be a master hacker, but you would definitely be able to walk into a place and say, hey, I know how to do this. You'll be able to perform numerous hacking and penetration tests, to have marketable skills to be used in the workforce. You will be able to put ethical hacker on your resume with confidence, and let me tell you a real quick story. Just one, it's not going to be as long as the other one. And it started from a Facebook post, right? And it's about how this USB drive made me $150 in 15 minutes, right? Essentially, what I did was I was able to, with this USB drive, there's something going to call Kali Linux, and it's a bootable Kali Linux, this live version. And I saw someone post on their Facebook page that they needed to get, they were locked out of their computer. And they're like, I can't get in my computer. It was an old computer. They didn't know the password to get in. And so I kind of typed up, I said, hey, I said, I can do it. They said, look, I'll pay you whatever. And I was like, I have $150. They're like, okay, I'll do it. Fine. There was no way to get off the data that they had before. So I said, all right, bring it around my house, and I'll see what I can do. Just drop it off. Now, I wasn't 100% sure that I could do it. But I was like, look, I learned this stuff in class, on how to do this, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it. And so they dropped it off, and I went, grabbed my computer, grabbed their computer, grabbed the USB drive, stuck the USB drive in, booted up in Kali Linux, mounted the drive, and got rid of the password. And they were able to get in. Now, I hit them up 2 days later to say they could do it. Just I was like, they paying $150. I wanted them to think it took a little longer than 15 minutes, but really it only took me 15 minutes to do that. And that's one of the basic things that we can do. I think if one day I decided just to put up there, hey, if you have an old computer and you need to get in and you can't remember your password, bring it to me, $150. I'll give you all your data back. You can also use the same USB drive to find deleted files. People are like, I lost my file. Chances are there's a way that we can get it back using this very simple USB drive. Yes, it looks normal, but trust and believe it is not. So let me talk about the modules. And as I talk about the modules, I'm going to bring on some of the people to just, give a couple testimonies. I want them to take no more than a minute to talk about, what they've learned thus far. So we talk about the basics of ethical hacking, using your tools, assessments and discovery, attacking part 1, attacking part 2, which is web hacks, And I'm going to go deeper into these as we move along. Um, Number 6 is closing a hack, what to do at the end. And then number 7 is marketing your new skills, because what is it worth to have all this and, not to be able to do anything with it that can benefit you? So module number 1 is the basics. We're going to talk about some of the stuff we talked about today. What is a hacker? What are the elements of a hack? How to set up your lab. And actually what we do is we try to even get this done before the class. So from the day you sign up, we start to get you ready to set up your own lab, how to maintain your lab, making sure that it stays up to date and you're able to do what you need to do with it. Module number 2 is going to talk about your tools, the basics of your hacking box. Kali Linux. And Kali Linux is the gold standard for what we do. Every hacker uses Kali Linux. So every hacker, whether they be ethical or black hat, we are using the same tools because it's top of the line. And when it's top of the line, that's what I want you to have. Using the Metasploit framework, they've talked about, we've taught on how to do that. Hack the Box, Hack the Box is one of those labs. It's basically you're able to go in and do a whole lot of things and test your skills, and you can practice, 24/7. It's always open. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to invite on one of our students, John. I'm getting ready to add you in. I hope you're ready to go ahead and talk and just share with people, just in a minute or less, how this has benefited you.
Yeah, my name is John. First of all, welcome. I've invited about 60 people that I know through this webinar. Since I've been involved with Learn from a Hacker, it's actually changed my life. I've applied for different jobs, not in hacking per se, but parallel to that. I've learned about the different tools that are available with Kali Linux, Metasploitable, Burp Suite, Nexus, all these things, and it's just been incredible. I am really enthusiastic about the class. I'm constantly telling my friends and family about it, trying to get them to at least come and taste. It'd be a shame if this could possibly been a career choice that you could have made. However, you didn't get a chance to taste. And so I'm just here to kind of like give the testimony that it is a good thing. The material is top notch. It's inspired me to kind of like dig deeper, because you find yourself just at the tip of the iceberg of this type of learning. And you have to be not afraid to constantly be learning. It's not one of those jobs where you just learn one thing and then you do that for the rest of your life. There's just so many different directions that you could go with this. So I want to encourage you to take advantage of it. And that's my piece for today. I can't wait to get back on my Kali Linux box.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And you've been one of the stars. Now you've actually joined the ranks of the staff. So yeah, come on through, man.
Yes.
Indeed. Good to see you. All right, so gonna jump back into the presentation. Just moving again, and then we're gonna have another one of the interns to jump on to speak. And so module 3 is we talk about assessment and discovery. And from there, we talk about information gathering. We talk about protocol and port discovery. We talk about identifying vulnerabilities, all of those things. And I actually want, if Linton, I'm not sure, are you there? Are you available, Linton, to speak? If not, we'll go to Richard. Let me see. I'm going to invite Linton in. Are you there, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Yes, I am here.
Yeah. So can you share with the people, what you've gathered and what you've learned and even what you've taught as a part of Learn from a Hacker?
So from Learn of a Hacker, I've learned a lot of things, so many things to count. I've been doing this internship since the summer of 2020. All been locked in because of quarantine, so I had a lot to learn. I learned all about Mmap, Nessus, Derb. I learned all about URLs. I've learned about IP addresses. I've learned about exploitation. I've learned about all these different commands and how to use them. I've also been teaching about network mapping, and soon I will teach people about Dirbuster.
Exactly. And if you don't mind sharing, Linton, how old are you?
I'm 16, about to turn 17.
Exactly. And so even as I share, you're not too young or too old to do this. And they've come in and they've shined and they've learned a whole lot. And even they've inspired me to learn more. And as you can see, the difference in ages between Linton. I didn't ask John what his age was, but as you can tell, he's not 16. Uh, so I'll just leave it at that. But as you can see, we have a lot that we learn and that we do here. So thank you so much for joining me, Linton. Indeed, I greatly appreciate it. All right. So then in module 4, we talk about attacks. Exploitation, password attacks. How to crack passwords, different ways of getting passwords, whether it be brute force, whether it be doing hashes or anything like that. Client side exploits, which is when you're actually putting something on someone's computer. We do reverse shells and that type of stuff. I think I'll go ahead and bring on young Richard to speak. And I want Richard to talk about both of these. So I'll talk about web attacks too. We talk about social engineering, SQL injections, wireless attacks, and even post exploitation, like what you do once you get in. Like, okay, so I got in, now what? And all of those type of things. So Richard, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Everyone, my name is Richard. I'm 17, about to be 18 over the summer. And I've started the internship in summer 2020. And I've learned a lot. I don't even know if I can tell you everything that I've learned, but I've learned a lot. So yeah, I'm a hacker. I do stuff. I like hacking. Some of the stuff that I do enjoy is like Python. That's a coding language that you can use to hack stuff. SSH, all types of Metasploit fun. I'm telling you, there's a lot out there, and so just come, see what it's about.
Indeed. And so, what have you taught thus far? Like you haven't just been, and Rich is actually our lead intern. So tell the people what you've taught, not just what you've learned.
I teach Hack the Box. There's certain things about Hack the Box that you'll probably need a tutorial to get into. And so I teach how to do that. Also taught SSH exploits. SSH is how you can connect to different servers and different computers. It's just one protocol among many. And so everything is hackable. So I teach people how to hack that.
Indeed. So thank you so much, Richard. As I said, these young people and not so young people, shout out to me and John, have really inspired me to learn more and to step my game up. Because as they say, the children of the future. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to get left in the dust. But yeah, so they're half the age that I was when I, actually a little bit older than half the age I was when I started this stuff. So just imagine, what can be done in such a short amount of time. As they said, they've been doing this for less than a year, and they've made a lot of progress because they've taken the courses and they've, done the work and even done the research on their own and found that piece that they really like that they move forward to. So thanks a lot for joining us, Richard. Next, we go back to our presentation. Yes. So, and then in module 6, we're going to put it all together. How do you close out a hack? And this is honestly where the money lies, because when you're doing this for a company, when you're doing this for an organization, not just for yourself, what management likes to see is that report. They want to know what you did and how you did it. Evidence maintenance. As you're going through with your evidence and things, how are you have to maintain it. Like, okay, so I did this and then I did this, I found this, all of those type of things. Reporting, meaning how you actually are putting all those things together and what needs to be reported. Even reporting as you move along, throughout the phases of the penetration test. If you come across certain things, you actually have to, there's something called a responsible disclosure, where even if you're doing something on your own, you're supposed to let it be known. In my next class, I'm going to be talking to the students about the time when President, well, he wasn't president at the time, but when Donald Trump's his Twitter got hacked before he was president, how we got hacked and what happened, and how responsible disclosure played a large part in how Twitter actually was able to increase the security over certain things, and that was actually done and using the same methods that we teach here. Also presenting is very important as well. Like I said, I had the opportunity to be in front of CEOs, CIOs, CFOs, all of those C-suite type of people, and you want to really know exactly what to say and how to say it and who to say it to. And restoration, meaning, we're not the type, when we go in, we don't do scorched earth. When we're doing our stuff, we want to make sure that people actually know and they can continue to use their systems even after we're gone. One thing that happened with one of our, we were down in the Florida area, and one of our clients, my partner, what he did was he accidentally left something on the computer, a hacking tool on the computer, and so we had to go back and take it off. And so that's why I make sure that I put restoration as a part of our teaching. And finally, career. Building your resume. What can you put in your resume? What are the key buzzwords? Turning ethical hacking into a business. If you're someone who like myself, who likes the path of entrepreneurship, I know Richard said he wants to be a contractor. He wants to work on his own. So, showing exactly what it takes to do that, how to position yourself in those positions, where to find ethical hacking jobs. Like, okay, most people didn't know what it was, so of course you wouldn't know where to find a job, but they're out there. And I'm gonna tell you, every day I get something in my email, some type of opportunity. Somebody want me to move here, move there, work for this company, work for that company. So the jobs are out there and they're going, and what type of career opportunities. Surprise, surprise. I don't know if I've told any of the students this just yet, but one of our former colleagues who used to work together when I worked with a firm, he works with a different firm now, and they're doing apprenticeships, paid apprenticeships, paid internships, and all of those things. I'm going to expose the entire class of those so that they can be able to actually apply for them, because there are entry-level places, because this field is truly growing. And I know, as you can see, it's no secret, I'm a Black man, and there are so very few of us, and even less Black women, less women, period. And people are looking for that. Not just for the sake of diversity, for the sake of putting it on paper, but the fact of the matter is, because our field is so quote unquote clandestine or whatever, you want to be the type of person that they just don't expect, that they don't see coming. They'll never see me coming. Now they will, because I've done a webinar, somebody may have seen it, but they never see me coming. They'll never see, you coming either. And so I know you're curious about the price. But before we talk price, let's talk value, because how much is it worth? What is it worth truly? What is it worth to you to be able to put in your resume, curriculum vitae, or whatever, proficient in cybersecurity or ethical hacker? What would it be worth to have your inbox full and your phone off the hook with job offers? What is that worth to you? So let's talk about what you would pay on the open market. The first course, the very first course that I took was $3,000, and that was 8 years ago. And those prices have more than doubled now. Even an online self-paced course can cost nearly $2,000 for all of this information. As a matter of fact, I was looking on Eventbrite, and because I saw this, they suggested one to me. I'm like, you gonna suggest my competition? All right, cool. But they were at $2,700 easily. So so the market is there for this type of stuff, because of the information that's in it. And in most cases, you will not get all of the information that I'm giving in this one course. You just won't, because of the way that people are setting things up. So, and really because of the demand on the market, all of the content I'll be sharing, with the amount of support that is provided, like, it's not just myself, it's also the interns, and they can tell you, what we provide when it comes to support. They do a whole lot, and our students, asking questions 2-3 o'clock in the morning and getting responses. I was told that I should not charge less than $25 per person. That's what I was told. This was from a consultant who said, look, Carl, because of what you're teaching, you can easily charge $2,500 per person or more. But I'm not charging you that. And honestly, because I know how tough times are, folks were sitting there waiting for, their stimulus check or waiting for unemployment or whatever. So I get that, and I also know the demand is so high that after this course, I have more students that I can handle, and I'll be able to charge a higher price. Just be real. People took the first course, they know what that price was. I told them that they would never get that price again, and the fact of the matter is, it's true. And so, but that's not the whole story. That's my version of, but wait, there's more, because there is more. Because on-demand access is not optional. And the reason that it's not is because, these courses are very intense. They're hands-on and fast-paced. That sometimes you may need to go back and watch something again, or trial and error, or do something differently than you did the first time. It gives you the opportunity to really understand what is being said. One of the reasons I even put these webinars on demand, so you can go back and look at it, is because somebody will be like, wait, I may have missed something. What did he say? Because I even try to give information in these as well. And it allows you to work at your own pace. So like I said, that's the first bonus is you're not just getting the class, in the classroom with me talking. You also get on-demand access within 72 hours of every class. I posted the entire class, meaning what I said, what questions were asked, what was presented on the screen, what was demonstrated, because again, these are hands-on things and you'll be able to work right along with it. And honestly, I know that people have their own schedules. So you may, it's like, well, I may not be able to make this class today. Don't worry. It will be there for you, and you'll still have the opportunity to ask questions when you're sitting in what we call bonus number 2, the dorm room. And this right here is historic James Hall at Hampton University, is where I stayed my freshman year. That middle window up top is where I stayed in room 507. So there's a community of fellow students where you can ask questions and get assistance, and even brag. I have one student who's ready to brag about a website that, again, she was given permission to hack, and the vulnerabilities that she found. The ability to, quote unquote, cheat off of each other. And yes, it is encouraged, because what we do is no one operates alone in this, whether you're searching or learning from somebody else because you're watching a video, you're Googling or something like that. But, working with each other is definitely encouraged. Daily updates on what's happening in the real world. As you can tell, we talk about things often on what's happening, what type of new hacks are out there. I even give a list of different podcasts to listen to and all of that. And that bonus, for the digital dorm room is a $200 value easily, just to be able to sit there and have access to myself, my staff, other students. And now this final bonus, it definitely was not my idea. When we were discussing, and you can blame the people you saw earlier, them interns, they made it happen. And I really, really, really cannot believe it. And it is weekly interactive labs. And these are real life scenarios with multiple mock servers that we create on your behalf, so you don't have to. Walkthroughs. And honestly, this is probably the most valuable part of the entire offer. And again, blame those interns, because now that means, they sat there and they said that they want, because I initially wanted them to, hey, do something to reinforce what I'm teaching in the class. But they were like, well, actually, I want to teach on this. So I've learned this from you. I've learned that. And so can we do that? And so we're adding this to it as a bonus. So that's actually another session, an extra session per week on top of what's being done in the regular classes, so that you can learn even more. And yes, blame the interns. And that normal value, again, is $3,000, because again, this is not only you learning more, but also the development of the mock service, which you have access to for free, the walkthroughs, the hand-holding, and all of those things. And actually, on top of that, because you are you, I'm doing a bonus interactive labs and cheat sheets, meaning the ones that were done in the first set of classes, you'll have access to those, as well as the new ones that are going to be done in the next set of classes. So you get access to the Hack the Box challenge that Richard did, Google dorking, which is a way to find information that people think is hidden just using Google. You have, like, it is a crazy system. And one of our interns, Arjuna was able to teach that class, and we were able to find some, Starbucks secret recipes and stuff like that, which is fully legal to get if you know how to find it. Burp, which is a brute force password over website, which is what we did. Also, Port 80 and Telnet Metasploit hacks. And if you don't know what that is, you need to attend the class. You'll know. And Nmap commands is what Linton was talking about earlier. Network mapping. How to, when you're performing a penetration test, how to look for what you need to look for, because otherwise you're staring at a screen. But knowing that, like I said before, that is the most valuable part of this entire thing, and that's another 3Gs, because that's on top of what was there. So we got the on-demand access to the labs, the digital dorm room, and again, the on-demand access, you'll have access to that through the duration of the classes, as well as 1 year after the classes are over. So you'll still be able to go back and look and continue to learn. So we have our 7-week intensive live training classes, the bonus access to replays for a year, the digital dorm room, the weekly interactive test labs. That value is $6,600, and I can tell you right now, it's worth it. It's worth every dime of the $6,600. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not charging that. I refuse to charge that. I won't charge close to that. I'm actually going to give a 90% discount, where you can pay almost 90% discount, where you can pay one payment of $697 right now, or you can do 4 payments of $199. And I try to keep it at a half for the STEMI, keep it just below that, because I want you to actually benefit from this. And again, they're giving you an inch. Use that to take a mile. It goes far beyond, just being able to spend it on what you want. Invest in yourself. Invest in knowledge. Invest in what can help you in the future. That's what I'm here to help you to do. So you can go right now. You go enroll at www.learnfromahacker.com/sign up. And I'll just, because we are in cybersecurity, I want you to know exactly what to expect when you see it, just to remove doubt from the buying process, because this is your first lesson on in hacking. Like, okay, when I get there, this is what I should see. So if I don't see that, maybe I type something in wrong, or I've gone somewhere else, or I have a virus on my computer. This is what you'll see when you get there. That is a checkout page on my website, Learn from a Hacker. There's just some there's other things on there, but that's where you want to go. So another bonus for the next 24 hours, everyone who pays in full, and not just paying in full, even if you do the 4-pay, if you just do your $199 deposit now, you will receive a Learn from a Hacker custom USB drive that can turn almost any computer into a hacking machine in minutes. Yes, remember what I told you, my favorite piece of equipment, the one that made me $150 in 15 minutes, the one that I take on every project that I go on, the one that I was able to hack into a career center, when I was able to get into, okay, I can't say their names, but it works. You're able to recover deleted files. Like I said, my favorite, I can bypass client logins. I can uncover deleted files, perform cyber forensics, all of that. So within the next 24 hours, if you do the order, this will be shipped to you during the class. And it also comes with tutorials on how to do these things. So I'm not just going to hand it to you and you'll be stuck, but you'll also learn exactly how to use these things in it. And so that's the entire thing. And I guarantee quick results. From day one, you will have your own fully functioning hacking machine. That's number one. And we help you to build it. I send you the tutorial and you can walk through it. Otherwise, there's an opportunity where you can have access to one of our interns and they'll walk you through it. And at a very, very, very nominal fee, where they actually will help you to do it. And all of that goes to them. I don't even take anything, because that's a part of their I like for them to have something in their pockets as well. So go ahead and take the first step to a lucrative career that you will love. when I tell you I spend hours and hours a day learning and doing, and honestly, it's worth it. It's worth every dime. If you already have a job and you tell them you're doing this, they will be impressed. They will be happy for you. They will make it happen. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to question and answers right now. Um, so if you about 15 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, speculations, please let me know. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. So go ahead and drop them in the comments. She said, "Let's go, big dog." With my man Jay, good to see you there, brother. But yeah, so just let me know if y'all have any questions, comments, anything. As a matter of fact, what I'll do right now is I'm going to, just kind of show you some of this. Is something I've never done in one of these classes. So just jump into a good old Kali Linux so you can kind of see what we're going to be working with here. My username and password, I ain't gonna tell you what my password is because then you would, know what my password is. So this is what you'll be working with. This is the entire virtual machine that has Kali Linux and Metasploitable, both of the things you'll be working with. This is what I use in the field. And these are all of the things that it comes with. Information gather, over 600 tools that show you, vulnerability analysis, password attacks, reverse engineering, exploitation, post-exploitation, and you'll learn how to do this. Is it possible to enroll at the end of the year? My schedule is full. Possibly. I'm not sure. I can guarantee at that time it will be more. So yes, but we probably will. If it's not me, it'll definitely be one of, I'll turn it over to one of the interns. But yeah, you can do it at the end of the year. But I recommend jumping on now just because the price is going to go up. But no, we are definitely able to do that. But yes, social engineering tools, forensics, again, anything that you may want to do in the field of cybersecurity, it is here. Like he was talking about Nmap. As you can see right here, this is one of the things that we do in Nmap. This is just looking at all of the different possibilities that can be done there. All of the stuff that you can do. And mind you, it's not flashy. It's not going to look like, well, actually, sometimes it can look like what happened on, what was that? One of my favorite movies, Swordfish. But, most of the time, it's a little different. You'll see computers in a way that you've never seen them before. How to hack wireless, internet. Like I know how to do that. I get wireless anyway. Yes, Kali is open source, very much so. And I show you how to use it, and even how to set up your labs. And you can even do a full virtual lab in on AWS and all that good stuff. So it looks like there may not be the price currently. Somebody asked how long is the price good for? This price is good until classes start. However, you have 24 hours in order to get the bonus USB, and I have them ready right here. Right here. Yep. It comes with the USB and the training so that you can do what I do, and that's what I want to do. I want people to be able to do what I do. That's how this works. So, anything else? If not, I will close down. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your interest, even in what we do, and because basically this is what we love to do, and our students love to show people and teach, and I really want to make the world a safer place, a better place for you and me. Heal the world through ethical hacking, like Michael Jackson said. But anyway, y'all have a blessed day. Good to see y'all again. If you have any questions, somebody sent a comment. Trick question: how would I know USB is safe? Good job. I like that. Well, hopefully, and actually I teach another class on this, is basically how you that you have the proper virus or antivirus on your computer. Now, if you don't want me to send it to you, what I could do is, just walk you through how to make it yourself, which I also do. So that's not a problem at all, Mirabelle. So yeah, I definitely get it. That was a good question though. That was a really good question. The only way you know it's safe, you gotta trust me. I'm ethical hacker. I'm not gonna lose my certifications for nobody. I got certifications, I got clearances. It's not a game out there. So yeah. So anyway, thank you all for coming through. And feel free to forward. You can go back and watch this. It's going to be on demand. Also, you can forward the invite to a friend, a family member, and whoever you want to give it to. We'll be doing these on next Monday and Thursday as well. So you all have a blessed day. Good to see you all. Have a good one.